everyone, I'm Becky.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're doing Bickering book reviews. Today we are talking about A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigid Kemmerer, I think. We saw her speak at Teen Book Fest, so I feel like
verify it the next time we see her, because I'm hoping to see her again.
Yes. Because we saw her speak at Teen Book Fest, and then we actually got this book. We stood in line and got signed copies at Book Expo of America.
And usually I give away the ARCs that I get.
I'm keeping this, yeah.
And she signed one of the bookmarks, which I didn't realize, and I'm like, oh, yes, I've got a bookmark, too. Yeah, I'm keeping this book.
Yes. But I did also get it through NetGalley, because I needed to read it super fast, and that's the only way I can put it on my Kindle.
Yeah, we had a lot of books to read.
We did.
This session.
We did. So just a quick, what this book's about. Harper is just trying to keep her life together in D.C. Her mother is dying, her father is MIA, and her brother is doing whatever it takes to keep Harper and her mother safe, even if that means working for a very dangerous man. Harper's life is changed when she is kidnapped by a member of the Royal Guard of Emberfall. Harper is taken to an enchanted kingdom where she meets Prince Wren, who has been cursed to live the same season over and over again until he finds true love. Harper is desperate to get back to her family, but she can't help herself from being drawn to the doomed prince. Can she save Wren, or should she return to her family?
I love this book.
I really enjoyed this book, too.
And so I've loved all of the other books that I've read by her. I completely forgot that she had another kind of fantasy sci-fi series called Elements, and I forgot that I loved those more than I loved, even though I haven't read them all, I love those more than I liked realistic fiction.
So this is the first book I've read by her, but actually, when we saw her talk at Teen Book Fest, she was so great, and she was so great, like, interacting with the teens and answering their questions.
Real and interesting, and
I was like, I want to read her book. This, to me, felt like Sarah J. Maas light, which is good, because I feel like it's almost, like, younger teen appropriate. Like, I think you could give this to, like, a 13, 14-year-old. But it still has the fantasy, and there's, like, a little bit of, like, the war, and it's got the magic and the romance. But for an adult, you're like, oh, I see what's going on here with Wren and Harper, and it's a little bit more sizzly that way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's definitely, it felt like an Alex Flynn read-alike, like Beastly read-alike.
Kind of.
To me, it felt like a read-alike. And I realized, like, as I'm halfway through the book, I just kind of stopped because I realized that I loved both of the main characters, like, equally. Like, I was completely invested in both of their stories. I think it's fascinating that Harper comes from our world, like, contemporary times, and then you've got Wren, who is from another world, essentially a fantasy world. And I love them both equally, even though they both have, like, their own sets of baggage and kind of some things going on in their past that aren't great. I also found it interesting, kind of the way that Harper has cerebral palsy, but she's still getting the job done, and she's actually a stronger female character than your traditional Beauty and the Beast fairy tale, because this is essentially what that is.
It is Beauty and the Beast, but I like that. Like, there's a part where she goes to this foreign, like, medieval world, and she has to ride a horse, and she's really good at riding horses, and they explain that because that's the therapy for her cerebral palsy, and that is a therapy for cerebral palsy. Like, I thought that there was that level of realness, and it does, and actually, I know you weren't, like, a fan, but it does remind me of the Sarah J. Maas, and that's another strong female character, and I think, to me, that's a big compliment. Like, I feel like it fits into that genre, and I know I've read some people online are like, well, you know, it wasn't super deep, but this book was fun. This book was so fun to read. It
was fun, and I think the characters were well developed, and the plot moved fast. So even though this book is 500 pages, you don't feel it, and I can't wait to read the next one, because I didn't realize it was going to be a series until I got to the end, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a series. And the fact that I can come 500 pages and still want more, I mean, that's shocking.
Right, and it did. I think I read this, like, in a day and a half. I was, like, expecting this to take me 3 or 4 days, and I read it over New Year's, and I was planning on spending the whole 4 days we had off, and instead I literally had it done in the first 2 days.
So it took me longer because I thought my eyeballs were going to fall out of my head. But but it was enjoyable. I wanted to read this book.
That's the thing, and a lot of time with those big fantasy books, and she did do good world building.
Oh, completely.
Because sometimes when you have like a really fast fantasy book, there isn't a lot of world building, but there is a decent amount of world building. The characters are developed, but it was just fun and really, really fast to read.
Oh, I love it.
I know. I don't know how else to.
Like it. It's so well done.
It's really entertaining. If you like those retellings, it's entertaining.
Yeah, I will definitely be recommending this book.
So we should rate it. So our rating system starts at the top with 5 unicorns. We go down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse.
I think the more we talk about it, I want to give it a 5. I'm giving it a 5.
I'm like
5 unicorns.
I'm like at a 4, almost a 4.5. So that to me, that's like some of my absolute favorite books. I don't give a lot of 5s.
I know, but I want to.
Yeah.
Especially because I love her. Like, I'm going to read literally anything she writes. She's so good.
So we highly recommend it. And that is where we are on A Curse So Dark and Lonely.
All right, see you around.
Bye.